What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. Now, this is going to be another morbid topic, another gloomy and morbid topic, which is kind of sad, but yeah, just letting you all know. It's a little sad, but it's interesting too, but still sad nonetheless. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is. Alright, so she's this really famous girl. She's deceased, but she's really famous for being one of the most beautiful mummies in the world. Like, literally, the most beautiful mummy in the world. She was a little girl named Rosalia Lombardo, and she was an Italian girl. She was a little Italian girl who died of pneumonia in December 1920, like a week before her second birthday. And her father was really upset that she died, and like he was really grieving over her death. So he asked a mortician named Salafia. It's an Italian name. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think that's how you pronounce it. He asked a mortician to like preserve her body so she wouldn't decompose at all, and the mortician preserved her body so good that she's now like one of the most famous preserved mummified humans ever. And here's a picture of her. This picture is from 1982. This is what she looked like in 1982, and she died in 1920. Here's her picture. So yeah, they kept her perfectly preserved, like, cause you don't even usually when I looked at some pictures of mummies, like their faces are sunken in, and like you can tell that they died a long time ago. But with her, her face doesn't look sunken in at all. She looks like if it wasn't for her skin tone being so orange, like you would still think that she was alive. But yeah, that's like one of the things that they couldn't like prevent or anything, that they probably didn't know how to prevent, because like a body, when someone dies, their body is going to decompose regardless whether like they're buried in the ground and there's bugs all around them. They'll still decompose because your natural parasites inside your body, like bacteria living in your intestines and bacteria living in your skin and everything. When you're alive, your body is able to fight it off, but when someone's dead, their body cannot fight off that bacteria, and that bacteria breaks them down and they start decomposing. But apparently, this guy poured chemicals throughout her body, which kept her preserved. And that was a picture of her. The picture I just showed you, that's what she looked like back in 1982. But here's a picture of her from 2010. This is what she looked like in 2010, 2009-ish. So yeah, that's what she looked like, and it's really sad because she was so young when she died. But but that's what she looked like. She looks like a little bit more decayed in that picture, but she's still preserved pretty well. And the people in Italy, they're still trying to keep her preserved, because now, since they discover more like scientific technology nowadays, like they moved her to a more like an airtight seal with nitrogen gas that's supposed to keep her preserved, and she was moved to a more cooler and drier place in the catacombs. And she's one of the best preserved bodies, and this may seem a little sick, but it seems like she's becoming a tourist attraction because a lot of people go there to see her. At least that's what I read. I'm not sure if that's true, that visitors come to see what her body looks like, because I think anyone's allowed to visit the catacombs and to see what she looks like, because like anyone can walk through the catacombs. But it is really sad that she was so young and that she died when she was only 2. But it's so interesting, though, how they were able to keep her preserved for that long. And, like, at first, like, for a while, they didn't know how the guy managed to keep her preserved, like, what chemicals and what solution they used. The man used to keep her preserved. Like, his name was Salafia, but eventually they realized, they found a note or a memoir that he wrote, that of what he did to keep her preserved like that, and according to Wikipedia, this is what his note or memoir said. They eventually found it, but here's what it says. Okay. Recently, the mummification techniques used by Salafia were discovered in a handwritten memoir of Salafia's. Salafia injected the body with a fluid made of formalin. How do you pronounce that? I think it's formaldehyde. Yeah, formaldehyde. That's what it was. It's spelled differently on here. To kill bacteria, alcohol to dry the body, glycerin to keep her from over drying, salicylic acid to kill fungi. Sorry, I'm bad at reading. Salicylic acid to kill fungi, and zinc salts to give her body rigidity. Yeah, so like to make her skin tougher so it doesn't like flake off over time. Cause like if they wouldn't have done that, her skin probably would have started flaking off over time. But accordingly, the formula's composition is 1 part glycerin, 1 part formaldehyde, saturated with both zinc, sulfuride, and chloride, and 1 part of an alcohol solution saturated with silicic acid. Now, I think that's very interesting because I never knew it was possible to keep someone's deceased body preserved for that long. She's like almost perfectly preserved. The only problem is like her skin tone is more orange, like so it's unnatural looking. So you can tell that she's deceased just because of that. But if her skin tone, if it would have been like a normal color, like a normal living color, you would swear that she was just sleeping. Because it's still, even now, it still looks like she's just sleeping. It could just be the lighting that's making her orange. But I don't know. And, and to this day, she still just looks like she's sleeping, really. It's really sad, though. And, a few people reported that sometimes they can see her eyes opening, and they think that that's caused by probably by chemicals or light coming in through the windows of the catacomb, which is giving the illusion that her eyes are opening, or her eyelids could be moving on their own because of certain chemicals in her body that's causing them to dry up and then causing them to not dry up, which is causing them to close. It's kind of complicated what causes that. But they also did an x-ray scan. Now, I'm not sure if they moved her body out of the catacombs to do that, or if they just brought the x-ray scanner to where her body was in the catacombs. They did an x-ray scan. All of her organs, all of her internal organs are still intact. And that really surprised me, because when someone dies, their organs, after a while, their organs liquefy and it runs out through their body. But not for her. Her organs are all still intact. They're probably really rigidy though, but they don't allow anyone to tamper with the mummy at all, and they really shouldn't, because her father really loved her, and he wanted to keep her preserved, and she is preserved. I think it's kind of weird that she's become so famous because of that. It's a little morbid that people come to Italy just to see what she looks like and to see her deceased, but it is very interesting that they were able to keep her preserved for that long. And speaking of morbid, I actually saw this online. It was like someone took this picture and edited it. It was a teen Rosalia. Her name was Rosalia. They made a teenage Rosalia Lombardo, and like what they did was they had a girl lay down and look like Rosalia. I'll show you a picture. Here it is. Here's a picture of it, and it was like an artist, a photoshopping artist, who wanted to make her as a teenager instead. Wanted to show what she looked like what she would look like if she died when she was a teenager instead. And after I saw that, my morbid imagination got the best of me, and it inspired me to make this. You guys are probably going to think this is weird, but here it is. There. That's my own version of Rosalia Lombardo, if it would have been me instead. Okay, I know that is a little bit creepy, and I know that is a little bit morbid, but I just got, like, inspired by that picture of the teenage Rosalia, and I thought, well, if they can make her as a teenager, why can't I make something of myself out of that? It just goes to show me that I have a really morbid imagination. But, yeah, I made that in Photoshop, and I tried my best to make it look realistic, like the real Rosalia Lombardo, but you can kind of tell it's fake, because it is fake to begin with. So, yeah, you can tell it's fake compared to the other one. And, I actually just made that picture this morning, and I actually did like a video recording of me making that on Photoshop, like a screen recording with screencast of how I made that on Photoshop, and I will post that right after I post this so you guys can watch it. It's a pretty morbid and creepy video, but I'll let you guys check that out. I'll have a link to it. Actually, I'll have a link to it somewhere in this video so you guys can go watch it for yourselves. And yeah, so make sure to tell me what you think of that. Please do. I would love to hear your feedback and your honest opinion. I know it's a little morbid, but like if you think, like just don't be a little too harsh, because I'm not trying to like offend her or insult her at all. It was actually my strange personal way of memorializing her in a way, even though that is kind of weird that I did it for myself, but it's just like the Boys of Summer movie I made back in 2010 when I basically rewrote Lovely Bones and made it about myself instead. You can go find that on my channel, or I'll have a link to it in this video somewhere. So, yeah, wherever I decide to put that annotation. So yeah, that's basically it. So don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, and don't forget to like me on Facebook. And don't forget to check out my photoshopping video too. You should be able to find that on my channel. It'll be the next thing I upload right after this video. And I'll also have an annotation on this video somewhere so you guys can watch it. So yeah, that's it. So peace out, people.
So sad.